What I'm learning in this waiting season. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about waiting. Not the loud kind where everything is obviously going wrong and people can tell you're struggling. I mean the quiet kind. The kind that doesn't come with tears every day or big explanations. Life is still moving. You still wake up, get dressed, go about your day. People still ask how you're doing, and most of the time you just say, "I'm fine," because technically, you are. Nothing is falling apart. Nothing is broken enough to explain. But inside, something doesn't feel settled. It's that strange place where nothing is clearly wrong, but nothing feels right either. You're not in a crisis, but you're also not at peace. You're just existing in between. Not stuck, not moving, just waiting. And that kind of waiting is tiring in a way that's hard to explain to people. Waiting seasons mess with your mind. When nothing is happening on the outside, everything starts happening on the inside. Your thoughts get louder. You start replaying old decisions, second-guessing things you already made peace with before. You wonder if you missed something. If you misunderstood God at some point, if you moved too fast, or maybe if you didn't move at all when you should have. Sometimes you even start questioning your prayers. You think about how you prayed, what you said, how often you prayed, and whether you really believed or were just hoping. You start asking yourself questions you never used to ask. The hardest part isn't even the waiting itself. It's not knowing how long it will last. If someone could tell you, "This will be over in 6 months," you'd manage. You'd count down. You'd endure it properly. But not knowing is what wears you down slowly, day by day, quietly. The Bible talks a lot about seasons. Ecclesiastes says there's a time for everything. I've heard that verse so many times. But hearing it and living it are two very different things. Some seasons make sense while you're in them. You can see the growth. You understand the lesson. But others don't make sense at all. They just feel empty, like nothing is happening. Waiting seasons feel like that. When you're waiting, it can feel like everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still. People are celebrating, announcing good news, making progress, and you're trying your best not to compare your life to theirs. Trying to stay grateful. Trying not to feel jealous. Trying not to feel left behind. That balance is harder than people admit. I used to think that if God was working in my life, I would feel it clearly. I thought there would be peace all the time, direction, some kind of sign that things were moving. Waiting has taught me that God doesn't always work the way we expect. Sometimes He works so quietly that you start wondering if He's working at all. There's a verse in Isaiah that says, "Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength." For a long time, that verse annoyed me a little, because I didn't want strength. I wanted answers. I wanted clarity. I wanted to know what was going on. But I'm starting to understand that strength is what keeps you standing when answers don't come. When nothing is explained. When you're just expected to keep showing up anyway. Waiting doesn't always give you explanations. Sometimes it just gives you the ability to keep going without them. Waiting has also exposed my need for control, or maybe how much control I thought I had. When you're waiting, you realize you can't plan everything perfectly. You can't force outcomes. You can't predict how things will turn out. You're left with trust, and that's uncomfortable. I'm learning that waiting shows what I really depend on, whether my faith is tied to results or to God Himself. Whether I trust Him only when things are moving forward or even when nothing seems to be happening. The Bible talks about walking by faith and not by sight. That sounds nice until sight gives you nothing at all. No signs, no confirmations, no direction. Just silence. And silence can be heavy. Silence leaves room for doubts to creep in. It forces you to sit with thoughts you'd normally distract yourself from. But in this waiting season, I've noticed small changes in myself. Changes I might not have noticed if life was going well. I don't rush the way I used to. I don't panic as quickly. I still worry sometimes, but it doesn't consume me the way it once did. I still have questions. I just don't shout them as much anymore. My prayers have changed too. They're simpler now, less dramatic. Sometimes they're just, God, I don't get this, but I'm still here. No fancy words, no pretending to be strong. Just honesty. And maybe that's enough for this season. There's a verse in Psalm 27 that talks about waiting on the Lord and being strengthened in heart. That part stays with me. Strengthened in heart, not rushed, not distracted, not rescued immediately. Just strengthened. That tells me waiting isn't wasted time. Something is happening, even if I can't see it yet. Something is being built quietly. Waiting teaches patience in a world that wants everything fast. It teaches humility in a culture that likes certainty. It teaches you how to stay grounded when you don't know how things will turn out. Those lessons aren't exciting. They don't feel good most days. But they feel important. If you're also in a waiting season, I don't think it means you're behind in life. I don't think it means you failed. And I don't think it means God has forgotten you. It might just mean you're being asked to trust without knowing the full picture. And that's hard. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels unfair. But the Bible is full of people who waited longer than they expected. Not because they were ignored, but because timing mattered. Delay doesn't always mean no. Sometimes it means preparation. Waiting seasons don't explain themselves. They don't give updates. They don't reassure you every step of the way. Most of the time, they just ask you to stay. To stay faithful when answers are slow. To stay patient when your emotions go up and down. To stay present when your mind wants to run ahead. And that kind of staying takes more courage than people realize. I don't know how long this season will last. I don't have a perfect ending or a testimony yet. I'm still in it. But I'm learning that waiting doesn't mean nothing is happening. It just means the work is quieter than I expected. For now, I'm learning to trust that quiet work. Thank you for your time. Please remember to subscribe to this channel for more reflective and devotional topics.